Agadan of Shabbos, this week's Parshas Terumah. Parshas Terumah, we have the Kalim of the Mishkan. The most famous, of course, was the Aron HaKodesh. The Aron HaKodesh, which housed the Luchas, was inside the Kodesh HaKodashim. The Aron HaKodesh was on top of the Aron HaKodesh were the Keruvim. The Gemara in Sukkah tells us that the Keruvim, the word Keruv comes from the word child. The images on top of the Aron were images of two small children, the symbols of purity, innocence, and sweetness. But interestingly, there's a time earlier in the Torah where Keruvim were used, and it's in a totally different context. That is when Adam and Chava were banished from Gan Eden. They were essentially kicked out. HaKadosh Baruch Hu placed, by the entrance of Gan Eden, he placed Keruvim to guard it. And Rashi over there tells us that these Keruvim were Malachi Chavala, angels of destruction. So it's very interesting that the same word, Keruvim, can mean two totally different things. On the one hand, innocence and youth, and on the other hand, angels of destruction. What is going on here? So I heard from my Rabbi from Goldberg, I think it was last year, and I'll embellish a little bit in my own words, but the point is that there are two opposite sides of youthfulness. Some people, they remain childish even when they become adults, in the sense that they stay self-centered, irresponsible, rash, impulsive. These things, they never grow up. They never take responsibility for anything. That's a childish personality to have. They never develop qualities like patience and self-discipline, generosity, selflessness. These are things are supposed to come with adulthood, but they never mature. They never accustom themselves to working in order to achieve, to produce, to contribute. That's what you're supposed to do. So they stay stuck they stay stuck as being a child in that way. But there's another side to youthfulness that's important for us to keep, and that is energy, enthusiasm, excitement, curiosity, ambition. These are things that you have as a child. Child naturally has, and it's important to keep them as adults as well. A lot of times, adults, we become complacent, we become stuck. We continue learning the same way we learned when we were in fourth grade. We continue acting the same way that we used to act. You can't do that. You have to become curious. You have to become ambitious, and you have to want to grow and achieve things in life. That is what you're here for. But you have to remember that that's how you felt as a youth, and carry that into adulthood. That is the type of youthfulness that is represented by the Keruvim that are on top of the Aron, because the Aron was covered by these Keruvim. The Torah should be characterized by this youthful passion and fervor, and by the desire to explore and to learn more in the Torah and about ourselves, and to grow and to continue growing and becoming the adults that we're supposed to through that youthful ambition that we had when we were children. May we all be zeicha to tap into the proper youthfulness that we had as children and use it to become better adults. Have a wonderful Shabbos.